Hey, welcome back. Today, we are diving into a business model that's behind some of the biggest companies in the world. And the wild part is, they do it by not really making anything at all. We're talking about the marketplace. And trust me, you'll be surprised by just how much it's changing the game.
So, let me kick things off with a quick question for you. Think about these huge names. eBay, right? The giant auction site. Etsy, where you get all that cool handmade stuff. And even Udemy, the online course platform. What's the one thing that connects all of them?
And here's the thing. They don't actually create any of the goods or services they offer, not a single one. Instead, they are master matchmakers. Their entire business is just connecting people who have something with people who want that something. And that right there is the whole secret behind the marketplace model. Now, to really get why this model is so brilliant, we first have to look at the world from the other side. Let's put ourselves in the shoes of an individual seller. Because when they try to go it alone, they run into two absolutely massive problems. First up, just finding customers. Marketing is ridiculously expensive and it takes up so much time. And second, there's this crushing weight of overhead. We're talking about things like insurance, all the right software, and figuring out the complex logistics to run a business the right way.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly explains that marketing challenge. When your profit margin is only a couple of bucks, every single penny you spend on ads really counts. It's so hard to find new customers without just completely wiping out your profits.
Okay, so with these huge barriers staring down individual sellers, what's the solution? How do you possibly get over the crazy high costs of marketing and all that overhead? Well, this is where the digital matchmaker steps in. So this definition is the whole key. A marketplace business is, at its heart, just a facilitator. It focuses on one thing and one thing only, making it incredibly easy and convenient for two different groups, a buyer and a seller, to find each other and make a deal. That's it. And once you see it, you see this pattern everywhere. eBay connects people selling, well, pretty much anything, with people who want to buy it. Etsy is the bridge between talented makers and shoppers looking for unique stuff. And Getaround, it connects people who aren't using their car with people who need to rent one for a bit. They all just provide the platform for the connection.
Okay, so how exactly do these platforms fix those huge problems we just talked about? How do they actually add value for the sellers who use them?
This chart really lays it all out. When you're on your own, it feels like you're shouting into a void, just hoping a customer hears you. But on a marketplace, bam, you get instant access to a built-in audience that's already there. If you're solo, you have to cover all the overhead yourself. A marketplace, though, it spreads those costs out over thousands of users, gives you the tools you need, and even offers protection like insurance. To make this super concrete, let's go back to Getaround. And really think about this for a second. How could you, as just one person, possibly rent your own car to a complete stranger? The risks, the logistical headaches, they're just mind-boggling. The truth is, you couldn't do it alone because you can't solve that massive overhead problem. But Getaround does it for you. They have one giant blanket insurance policy that covers thousands of cars. They give you the mobile app that handles all the logistics, like even unlocking the car, and they run a whole customer support network. They literally make the impossible possible. And here's the kicker. This is a huge win for the buyer too, because marketplaces like Getaround don't actually own the assets themselves. In this case, a massive fleet of cars. Their costs are way lower than a traditional company like Zipcar. And guess what? Those savings get passed right on to you, the customer, with much lower prices. Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? The model seems pretty foolproof. But here's the thing. Building a marketplace from scratch comes with one giant, infamous challenge that every single one of them has to face.
Because there's a catch, and it is a big one.
It's known as the marketplace conundrum, and it's that classic chicken and egg problem. Just think about it. Why would a buyer ever visit a website that has nothing for sale? They wouldn't. But at the same time, why would a seller bother listing their products on a website that has 0 buyers? They wouldn't either. Each side is just waiting for the other one to show up first. So, how do you even start? So how in the world do you solve a puzzle like that? Well, successful marketplace startups have a really clever trick up their sleeve. They don't just wait for it to magically happen. They strategically seed the market. Okay, here's the secret playbook. First, you have to figure out which side of your market, the buyers or the sellers, is harder to get or more valuable. Then you manually seed that side. This might mean you create some listings yourself, or maybe you convince a few key sellers to join really early.
Once your platform looks like it has something going on, you can use that as bait to attract the other side, in this case, the buyers. And once you have both, that's when the magic happens, and the whole thing can finally start to grow on its own.
When you strip it all away, it really comes down to this one simple, powerful idea. The most successful marketplaces in the world aren't always the ones with the flashiest features. They're the ones that are just laser-focused on removing friction and making it incredibly, unbelievably easy for people to buy and sell.
I mean, this model has already totally transformed how we shop, how we travel, how we learn, how we live. It finds an unmet need and connects it to an available supply. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what's the next big frontier? What part of our world is just waiting for a marketplace to come along and connect it next?